everybody, and welcome back to the Sideboard. My name is Ruben Bressler here at SCG Columbus, and I am joined by Brad Nelson, a face you might recognize from StarCityGames.com. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. I'm trying this one. This is a good new one. I usually do this, but I'm
sure. Well, you're turning full heel this weekend.
Yeah, that is true.
So you may as well change up the hand signals that you got going on, because you're back on Mono Black.
Yes.
A deck that came into popularity thanks to you, Todd, and BBD.
I mean, I think there was a couple people maybe at the Pro Tour.
There were a couple people that played it at the Pro Tour, but it certainly picked up in popularity. It was not considered Tier 1 at the Pro Tour. And then as soon as Louisville happened, it sort of spiraled out of control and has suddenly become the premier devotion deck.
The boogeyman.
The boogeyman of the format. And you're more known for trying to take down the top decks.
Yes.
With, Naya Control, most recently, as well as various iterations of Trading Post and things like that. Just various types of things.
I don't know who I'm trying to take down with Trading Post, but...
You're trying to come at formats at different angles than people are expecting. Mm-hmm. But you've decided that Mono Black's the way to go at this point in the format. Why is that?
Well, we got Born of the Gods coming out real soon, and a lot of, my work into trying to break the formats will just be wasted because in 2 weeks it's gone. But the other is, I found that it's very hard to attack this specific format before Born of the Gods because of how many permanent-based decks there are. So it's like every deck's trying to nut draw each other. And so it's like a perfect mix of lands and spells and creatures in Mono Black where it's consistent, it's the same color, you have disruptive elements, and you have big threats that are good on their own.
Sure.
So it's like a perfect combination of things against all these very aggressive permanent-based decks that have a lot of bad cards to go well with their great cards. And it's just not a lot of cards in this format can stand on their own.
Absolutely.
And so I like the way that this deck attacks the format. Also, I'm probably going to go back to Bruin because I'm a wishy-washy kind of guy, but right now I just want to play the best deck. I've seen so much success from players like Sam Black and Owen and Huey just playing consistently the best decks in the format and learning them, especially Reed Duke, just Jun. And I have very good results with my fringe decks like Pedal to the Metal and Hoof There It Is when I was playing Junk Aristocrats when no one else would touch it. But on the other hand, I want to see if my results can be better. So for a while now, I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm just going to learn a deck and stick to it and just keep grinding out the tournaments and see what my results look like.
I think that's an important thing for players to think about for themselves. I know, certainly I had a phase where I would never play the best deck. I would only try to beat the best deck, and my results were just never as good as when I just played the best deck. Mm-hmm. That's just for me personally. Now, some people, like yourself, do better a lot with fringe decks that aren't considered the best deck at the time. But it's important to sort of vary and diversify yourself. It's like Chapin says in Next Level Deck Building, you need to be at least 25% brewer and 25% net decker. You can vary in between, but you can't be 100% in either direction.
I completely agree with that. And with the skills that I've learned from over 2 years now, just trying to attack every metagame, I feel like I can use that when I'm just playing the best decks and find the one-ofs and the two-ofs that need tweaking and understand how to sideboard every matchup and get to take that information and use it the next week as opposed to just throwing it away and doing something new. And I feel like a lot of my swings where I either 2-2 a tournament or win it will taper off, and it's just because I have the best deck as opposed to this really cool metagame deck doesn't mean my chances in top 8 are going to be different.
Sure. Absolutely.
And so I'm going to stick to Mono Black for the next 2 opens. Also, I need to start tightening up, right? Because before, these open points didn't really do anything for me. I already had my 2 buys.
There you go. Now you need the Players' Championship points.
Yeah, now I need to be part of the Players' Champs, and I'm in 3rd. Especially a lot of my points came from the last season, or the last half of last season. So if Huey or BBD just dominate this first one, I'm going to be really good to lock up the second season, especially if I pick up some points before the Pro Tour.
Absolutely. Let's talk about going forward with Mono Black. Before you get too much into a brewer mode, let's think Mono Black for a second and look at a couple of cards that have been spoiled already from Born of the Gods. I want to talk specifically about 2 of them. The first one is Bile Blight.
Yeah.
Bile Blight.
Say it
great
5
one
times
to
fast,
say.
Yeah.
It's an interesting card because it helps Mono Black and yet it hurts Mono Black because, it allows you to take care of opposing Pack Rats and Night Vale Specters, but it really hurts your Pack Rats and Night Vale Specters.
Actually, in all honesty, it just helps Mono Black the whole way. It's not going to be played in multicolored decks, it's just going to be Mono Black, because the thing that I'm seeing so far in the Born of the Gods spoilers is really difficult to cast spells and very easy to cast creatures, they're really scared of Nykthos. That you can tell that
Sure.
they got scared. But so all the spells are going to be really difficult to cast in multicolored decks, and you want the mono black mirrors to not have access to cards like Dark Betrayal in the Mirror, because like if BioBlight deals with all these early creatures, that's what they want it to do, then we don't have to play all these bad cards in every other matchup in the sideboard, and we get to open up. So like I love that BioBlight exists. It's going to actually make it easier for mono black, like the good code. It's like we all just don't play these cards that hurt us in other matchups.
Right.
And get to play this card that still interacts well with Pack Rat, still interacts with Nightveil Spectre.
Sure.
And so, I mean, we'll see a dip in Dark Betrayal and an uptick in this, less like cards that are just there to kill everything like Devour Flesh. All in all, I think it's going to be a big upgrade for the deck.
And Drown in Sorrow is somewhat similar, but like against mono red and red green devotion kind of decks has a much different place. Infest has always seen standard play when it was in standard, and this is, you know, the Scry 1 plus Infest. Like, how much better could you get?
I mean, I actually don't think that card's good at all.
Okay.
And the reason I don't think it's good is, yes, in context of a Magic, in a format where everyone's playing Burning Trees and Soldier of the Pantheons and all these things, yes, it's good. It is a good Magic card. But think about it, like, it's okay against mono blue. Like, sure, it deals with Master Waves, sure, it deals with some of their early guys, but it doesn't beat Spectres and their 1/4s, and they can, like, maybe find new creatures, and that's just it. If a card like this exists, decks are just going to change things up. Plus, if you look at the new format, there's a lot of early creatures that have more than 2 toughness. And they're not going to let a card like this take over a metagame. They've never let Pyroclasm effects take over metagames ever since they start changing up cards, because they just give cards more power and toughness anyway. And so I think there's going to be times where it's a good sideboard card, but it's not just going to be like, oh my god, shove 3 in the main deck. It's not Supreme Verdict. It just really isn't. Even Supreme Verdict's not that good.
Sure. So, going forward into Born of the Gods, outside of Mono Black, what card are you most excited for? That you've seen spoiled already. What are you most excited to start building with?
I really want to see if Xenagos is going to do anything. Most importantly, I think everyone has not even thought about this, and I don't think they're going to do it. Maybe Wizards has said it, but I haven't saw. But like, no one's really thought about the weapons. Like, do these multicolored gods get multicolored weapons? Because that would be really sweet.
If there are 10 weapons in this set, I would be a little surprised.
Why not?
10 multicolored weapons in the same set would be quite the boon to the meta. I mean, it'd be pretty insane if you had like Mogus's axe.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, if those come out, then certainly those will be quite.
I'm just
exciting.
hoping that it's Xenagos' Satyr, and he just like throws satyrs around.
Right.
But I think Xenagos is like the card
Todd
that
chuckling in the background.
I think like Xenagos is the card that I want to play with the most, mostly because it's like extremely powerful. I wanted to know what the green-red god did because of cards like Burning Tree.
Sure.
And just like these really fast ways to get a good board presence.
Sure.
Excuse me. But other than that, I like to wait for the whole set. I don't like getting my hopes up because Wizards loves to do that. They love to show you a toy and then they're like, and this card stifles
And
it.
then it's not that good, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
and so I wait. I do like Xenagos. I was really excited about seeing the green-red Planeswalker, or the green-red god, and Planeswalker. And
yeah, it's interesting that Xenagos combos pretty well with Xenagos.
yeah, I really feel like when they're in play, you just have to have like a picture of Teferi sitting around. It's like that.
Sure.
That's how the story works.
Exactly.
We just say Teferi stuff.
If both players have both in play,
Yeah.
then like you have to draw. Like that's the end. You can't.
Is that the rule?
I think so.
I think
They
we should
recently
go.
changed
I think we
that
all should just go with
to
that.
the tournament rules. Yeah, if all 4 Xenagoses are in play in a 2-player game, you can't
You
play any
both
more Magic.
win the
You're done.
tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
Go tell your TOs to just give you the prize sport and leave.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So headed forward this year, feeling good about how you're playing?
Yes, I'm getting my game back, and I'm working really hard on it. This is my year for Magic. I'm going to put a lot of work in, and my mind's sharp, playing a lot, and focused, and I'm not going to be dedicating all my time to brewing. I'm going to be dedicating to my tournament results. And so I'm sick of just making Grand Prix top 8s and losing.
Sure.
I want to win some trophies this year. And last year I did. I won 3 trophies, or 2 trophies and a plaque.
Sure.
But this year I definitely just want to like just kick it up a notch again and do well on every circuit.
All right. You heard it here first. 2014, Year of the GOAT, Brad Nelson.
I should have never been a GOAT.
Thank you for joining me in the sideboard. You're going to be identified with Trading Post for the rest of your life.
I like that. I'm okay with that.
All right,
It's my
well,
favorite card.
We'll have more coverage, possibly of Brad Nelson, probably of everybody else here at Star City Games Columbus. A little bit of a dagger for you. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with coverage all day long here from Columbus.
I wish we were wearing a mic so I could just throw it out now.
Sorry, buddy.